We're going to read Math Potatoes, Mind Stretching Brain Food by Greg Tang, illustrated by Harry Briggs. Math Potatoes is written in such a way to help kids make math make sense. He writes in his introduction, I believe math and can should be easy. My goal in writing Math Potatoes is to help kids ages 7 to 12 learn a few common sense strategies that make arithmetic faster and easier. In each problem, I intentionally present numbers in deceptive ways, using visual tricks based on color, spacing, and alignment to make less efficient groupings more obvious and more efficient groupings less obvious. The idea is to challenge kids to combine numbers in smart ways, not just obvious ways. He focuses on 3 strategies in particular. The first is to make smart sums. Numbers like 10 and 15 are easy to work with, so it helps to look for them whenever possible. The second strategy is to find patterns and symmetries. Repeating groups simplify problems and make them easier to solve. The third strategy is to look for groups of equal size. Equal-sized groups make it possible to multiply instead of add, which is faster and leads to fewer mistakes. Math dirt cards. Texas Hold'em 5-card draw, 7-card stud in Omaha. The trick is knowing when to hold, when to raise, and when to fold. Can you add up every card? The problem isn't very hard. A straight, a flush, a pair of threes, try each one and it's a breeze. Sock hop. At the dance, the socks all mingle, most are paired, but some are single. They do their best to keep the beat, please excuse the 2 left feet. How many socks are hanging out? Watch them as they twist and shout. Look around for groups of 5, then get set to jump and jive. When you look at the picture of all the socks, your first instinct could be to go at looking at the rows going across. But how can a group of 8 make sense when the next row has a group of 9? So my next instinct is to look at the columns going up and down. But to make the groups even, if you look at the single red striped sock, the 2 pink socks, and then the 2 smelly socks, you have a group of 5. And then you go into the next column of 3 and you have a group of 5. You have 5s going all the way across and then a separate group of 5 looking at the bottom row. So you have 6 groups of 5 or 6 times 5. So you have 30 socks altogether. Vegetables. A squash will squash you on the ground and beets will beat you up and down. But onions poke you in the eye. They're the ones that make you cry. Can you count the bullies here? There's a fast way, have no fear. In every group, imagine 3, then subtract what you can't see. Shell shock. I've never understood too well how oceans fit inside a shell. Hold a conch up to your ear, crashing waves are what you hear. How many shells have washed ashore? Find a smart way to keep score. Squares will yield the right amount, as long as you don't double count. For 7's sake. I gaze into the evening sky, think great thoughts and wonder why. Planets, stars, the Milky Way, a window into yesterday. Can you count each shining star? The answer isn't very far. When you look up to the heavens, try to think in groups of 7s. When I look at the picture of these stars, my first instinct is to make rows going across. But the number doesn't make sense. And then I look down, and then it still doesn't make sense. So then I thought, I wonder if there's diagonals. What if that makes sense? When you look at the diagonals, you see that you have 4 in the top left corner. Then if you go to that next diagonal, you have 3 stars plus 4 stars, which is 7. Then 3 stars plus 2 stars plus 2 stars, which is 7. Then 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2, which is 7. Then 2 plus 2 plus 3, 7. Then 3 plus 4, which is 7. And then 3 stars in the bottom right corner. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diagonals, all groups of 7, plus a 6th group of 7, the 4 in the top left corner and 3 in the bottom right corner. So you have 6 groups, 7 stars, or 6 times 7, which is 42 stars. Nut house. Roasted dry and warm inside, in their shell the peanuts hide. A little crack, a ray of light, now they're out in open sight. How many peanuts in this snack? Try to find a clever tack. Don't just add what's right below. Find smart ways to pair each row. Hanging by a thread. Oh, what tangled webs we weave, when flies and bugs we do deceive. Our silken threads will soon ensnare unknowing victims in the air. How many spiders lay in wait? Cold and cruel is nature's fate. Think subtraction and you'll be free from all this treachery. Smart cookies. They start as bumpy lumps of dough, then in the oven heat they go. Soon they are the perfect treat, food for thought that's good to eat. Can you count each chocolate chip? Here's a little helpful tip. Find the square in front of you, add the rest with place value. The way he ends the problem of saying, here's a little helpful tip, find the square in front of you, if you look closely, you can see the fact that there's actually a square of 5 cookies by 5 cookies, and each cookie has 4 chips. So 25 cookies times 4 chips gives you 100 chips. And then you look, there are 12 more cookies, 4 times 3, which gives you another 48 chips, because 12 times 4 is 48. So then all you have to do is add 100 plus 48 to get a total of 148 chocolate chips. One hit wonder. I'd like to be a concert star, but need more in my repertoire. I only know a single song, and Chopsticks isn't very long. How many notes are on this sheet? Think smart and you won't miss a beat. Instead of adding row by row, columns are the way to go. Mashed potatoes. Boiled and baked and often mashed, peeled and fried and sometimes hashed. No wonder spuds hide underground. Life is painful when they're found. Can you add up these poor souls for whom the bell already tolls? In groups of 10 you'll hear their cries, please don't turn us into fries. Flapjacks, a breakfast food that's fun to make, short and round and called a cake. Not the kind that stands up tall, it's the flattest one of all. How many pancakes can you eat? Hurry now, but please be neat. Rounding is a clever tact, just remember to subtract. Pearly whites. When buying pearls, it's good to know the word in French for fake is faux. If smooth against your teeth they feel, then you know that they're not real. How many pearls are on this strand? So precious are these grains of sand. Instead of counting every one, double 3 times and be done. What you may first want to do is sit there and count every single pearl, but that takes way too long. If you notice, there are different groups of pearls by the different shading. Each group of pearls has 7 pearls. If you use the symmetry to see the 8 groups of the different pearls, to multiply by 8, all you have to do is double 3 times. 7 doubled once is 24. 24 doubled is 28. 28 doubled is 56. Or all you have to do is 8 times 7, and you also get 56. War of the Roses. A dozen roses for my spouse. Now she thinks I'm such a louse. Her recent birthday I forgot. Tonight I'm sleeping on a cot. Can you count each long stem rose? Maybe they can cure my woes. Don't add a cross or even down. I hope forgiveness can be found. The Emperor's New Clothes. When it comes to formal wear, penguins are beyond compare. Dressed up in a little tux, they look like $1,000,000. How many penguins do you see? Try to count them elegantly. When you need to add in haste, equal groups are in good taste. In a pickle. If you're in a fickle mood, pickles are the perfect food. Some are sour, some are sweet. Either way, they're good to eat. How many pickles in this bunch? Try subtracting in a crunch. Imagine 8 in every row. Just subtract and you will know. Instead of adding 4 pickles plus 4 pickles plus 8 plus 6, it's much easier to imagine 4 pickles in each of the 5 squares where they seem to be missing. That creates 8 rows by 8 columns, or 64. Then you subtract the 20 that you imagine, and then you are left with 44 pickles. 64 minus 20 is much easier than the 4 plus 4 plus 8 plus 6 plus 6 plus 8 plus 4 plus 4. Cone beds. Majestic pine trees touch the sky, raining cones from boughs up high. A bed of needles make a nest, a soft and shady place to rest. How many pine cones on the ground? It helps to first move some around. Simply fill in every gap, add them up, and take a nap.